How are we doing today? Oh, let me tell you, I had such a busy day doing errands and things of that nature that just when I was about to relax, I said, oh, yes, let me get the map, right? Well, I called about the map. And the map that is behind me is Los Angeles, the Los Angeles map, okay? For the city online, there was a whole lot of other things that I was like, wow, I wanted this other map because the other map actually broke down things in detail, like what side of town and this, that, and the other. Well, I don't know if you can see it, but we'll go over it timely over time. Okay. I will be like, we're going to a place. So anyway, looking at the very top here, this is North Valley, like Van Nuys. This is South Valley. This is West Los Angeles, Central, East Los Angeles, South Los Angeles, and Harbor. All of that is the city of Los Angeles. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, we're just like right here. And I mean, and when I think about, us, transportating, some of us just be right here. We're not, oh, we have people in West Los Angeles. And I mean, don't get me misunderstood. We're just all over the place. But the point is that for Los Angeles, people are not thinking, right? Further up. At least I don't know that. That's the thing. Because I'm trying to figure out what the issue is. Okay, so now a lot of different things like the question of homelessness, not only homelessness, like employment and things of that nature, like for real, what's the issue? What are the issues? Okay, so we have it here too. I think no, you can't really see all of that. So anyway, we're gonna have mapping Los Angeles. Not that we have the time to do all of that, a lot of other things are important too. But I'm like, wow. Now, see, I'm not gonna pull it up because then we'll be going into a study, or maybe just a little bit next time, because then I will be searching and I'm not prepared for all of that. But the thing is that when we look at Van Nuys, I was like, wow, Reseda and Woodland Hills, all up in there. Don't get me misunderstood. I lived in those places. I was in Woodland Hills. I grew up in Woodland Hills. I grew up in many, many places, but we're gonna go there. We were in that system. I was like, wow. And like I said, once I actually pull it up, let me see if I just go ahead and pull it up. Um, and I was like, wow. I'm gonna just name off a few places because it was interesting to me at their map gallery. I just want to name off the cities because I want to. And I was just like, Lord have mercy. And we just going through nothing. Just, things that just make you go, like, what in the world? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, there's Silmar, Granda Hills, Chatworth, Northridge, Mission Hills, Canoga Park, Reseda, Encino, Brentwood, Van Nuys, North Hollywood, Sun Valley, Sunland, Tahunga, Sherman Oaks, did I say Brentwood? Bel Air, Hollywood, Northeast Los Angeles, Silver Lake, Westlake, Central Los Angeles, Boyle Heights, Central City North, Southeast Los Angeles, Harbor Gateway, Wilmington, Port of Los Angeles, San Pedro, Westchester, LAX, Venice, Palm Mar Vista, West Adams. Did I say West Los Angeles? Wilshire. We're gonna get there, people. We're gonna get there. How about that? Does that answer anything? So anyway, I will be honest. It's called WORK, and I don't know if you've ever listened to that radio station. WORK. but it's like that. But anyway, as I took this little tour, I was like, wow, look at downtown Los Angeles. So I was able to go and visit this place, and I got like a little, I don't know what that was, but anyway, it was good. I'm like, wow, we need to explore LA. Normally I'll just probably go to the library, come back, maybe run some little errands and stuff on Broadway. But this thing is bigger than that. We will go to the alley and all that kind of stuff. But this stuff right here, I'm like, this is a lot more to offer. I'm like, I'm gonna go through all those buildings, and yes, with free time, I want to go to city of Los Angeles. What y'all doing in there? Mhm. Not negatively, people. Don't get it twisted. We're looking for some money, money and money. Okay. So it's not so much about being comfortable, but it's also having security. You understand? I mean, you want to, be financially sound. I mean, I ain't gonna fib to you. Something else going back and forth about here it is, whatever that is, and you're operating inside of a business. It's like, okay, what other details is needed so that North Valley, South Valley, West Los Angeles, Central, East Los Angeles, South Los Angeles, from South Central. And then here it is, Los Angeles International Airport, Harper. I mean, there's money out there. They got procurement, they have contracts, you know, not that contract, but the other contracts, government contracts. But let me explain something to you. I think I don't want to do this under this mapping, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. What I was, my focus, it don't have anything with somebody saying, hey, Irene, I'm interested in you working for me. But as I started to pursue economic development, I realized that um, for us to talk about human rights, that there's the set asides, and those set asides are set for small businesses and people who under ethnicities or groups. So you will see veterans, you'll see women, you'll see Black, and then they put categories for disadvantage. So maybe I need to kind of prioritize what is it that you're trying to do, Irene? But it's no different than what my effort has already been. It's just the truth. I could go all the way up here, and I know there's somebody who's a contractor or do manufacturing. I'm interested, and yes, I'm telling you, I'm already interested in disadvantaged group, or let's say the specialized or category group. I am. That's my interest. There'll be no reason for you. Well, I ain't gonna fib you. I don't know. I'm tired, but I'm just like, I'm tired. I'm tired of that stuff. I ain't gonna go back and forth with you about that. And it just ain't it. Because I'm like, you know what? I don't give a flying flip about none of that. You see all of this here? That's from my point. So anyway, there are people. Could I go ahead and process all the paperwork and do all those things? Done. Done. Now, the thing is too is that I think that with my efforts that I've been focused on business building and development. Now, don't get me misunderstood. Yes, we need income, we need work. And I think that in this particular race, how I've been handled, I'm having some understanding of why some other people may have given up. Okay, because now you want to focus on economic empowerment, and then something else is going to tell you about human rights. I think that it's a violation or a restriction or something like that if we can go talk about human rights and then be like, oh, okay, is this all in your head? And I'm like, well, don't get me misunderstood, but if you're going back and forth with me, like you going back and forth with me, then the thing is, and we doing all this consensus or this stuff like that. The census, I think it's the census. I'm like consensus. The census, and we're looking at small business administration, and then some specialized groups that focus on like the Chamber of Commerce and stuff like that. And I mean, are they bothered? You know what I'm saying? I mean, so now looking at this land area of the city. Doesn't have anything to do with the county. Now, a lot of some of the county stuff, like when we begin to look over here, we may know that there's some manufacturers. Most of this area here and here are with moving products. Okay. So yes, I know about the import exporting. Okay. Matter of fact, it just become very simple. I mean, you can learn everything. You could be jack of all trades and a master of none. And I was just finding myself just trying to study everything. And hello, I mean, I guess you could be like, well, yes, 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 I have this and this and that. But it becomes a whole nother program when you're in somebody else's house learning, because whatever it is that you learn, it's good to know something's true. It's true. But they may have their own structure. But anyway, let's go back to this. So right here, this area here and this area here deals a lot with exporting and importing. So you have flights, and then here you have boats. Okay, so the flights here, boats here. Okay, so trucking industry is all over. So the trucking industry, and that matter of fact, outside of the United States military, the largest employer is transportation, which is affiliated with the federal government, and the federal government, and that is also associated with the military. Okay, so the largest employer of the United States is transportation. So looking at here, so anyway, my point is, okay, import exporting, honey, we got a lot of companies that could do it. So it wasn't so much that I want to focus on that. I am interested in those particular specialized products. And I didn't care whatever it was. Somebody had a grand idea. I'm like, oh, who is that person? The thing, what is though, is being able to help other people maximize whatever that is. But then that becomes a service. And so that service, people want to get paid. You can make suggestions, but you start asking a lot of questions and stuff like that. Now you taking me into a thought of consultation. If you want me to do any research, that's consultation, right? Um, so anyway, I do want to, find out what the rest of the city of Los Angeles has to offer. I do. We're gonna get there, right? Yes. Um, I mean, California is a big state. Matter of fact, I'm kind of thinking that maybe perhaps I get a hold of Small Business Administration and let them know what I want to do. Because the thing is that I mean, I can write proposals all day. It's getting employed, and if they want to be like, "Well, we're watching you, and I'm watching you too," then I think it's a little unfair for a group of people to be like, "Well, we want you to be homeless, or we want you to not eat, or you want." And I'm looking at all these other social issues and social concerns, and that's a problem. Okay, for people who have deliberately done some things because they want to be like they I Spy. Now here it is, all those people who are homeless on these streets, and then we're looking at that. What does that say to us? So anyway, that's another thing, the social issue. I am gonna go up here and I'm gonna see if there's people being cared for. Because all this argument about, what we're gonna do about the homeless pandemic, if we're just looking South Los Angeles and Central Los Angeles, and we're not looking at North Valley or South Valley, and we're not trying to solve that issue because we have all this space up here, then what is it that you think we should be saying? Hmm? Matter of fact, I was like, wow, they have beautiful buildings, for apartments and stuff. I was just like, now what in the world's going on? That money, just like an organized program, this is social now, an organized program to help people who need the help. There's money involved in that. We're looking at mental health. We're looking at veterans. We're looking at mother and children is a little, their category is a little different, okay? But if you're looking at people, and well, that's a little different. The mother and children is over here in this category. But if we were looking at, let's say, veterans, uh, um, people with mental health, people who were incarcerated or disabled people, right? Now these people, there's funding for that. But when you start talking about domestic issues, there's funding for that too, but that's another category. So I'm like, well, one moment, we really was okay, yes, and the addiction. There's funding for that too. So now we're looking at these different categories, then it will be wise to say, okay, well, we're going to have this kind of structure or building just for that, so that they could get the medical care, so that they can get their documents in order. I mean, they got, matter of fact, I'm looking for stuff to talk about a case manager, intake manager. You know what I mean? And help people get into places. Okay. I mean, seriously. Oh, I'm like, wow, this place is big. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Now I ain't gonna fib to you. I said a few choice words about if, as that song would say, if I ruled the world. Maybe not the world, but maybe the city. The things that I would do. So anyway, going up here and looking, people want to be rehabilitated, baby. They do. That's social. That's social concerns. In regards to my other my profit. Matter of fact, I didn't even look to see if we had people under the hubs. So I have not looked to see about hubs, but then again, that's what I'm saying to you, that you can put all yourself, you can get all these different certificates and stuff like that, and then you wanting the money, then you're talking about we're paying somebody. It's a whole little process. We're trying to get funding from the government as well. Okay, so these are the things that I've been working on. Okay, may not have seemed like it, one thing or the other. However, I have been at a work implementing, and I'm talking about not just here in California, but also in the places where I live. So I am from California, I am from here, and I am from there. I just feel like to keep it easy. Anyway, people, the city of Los Angeles, TTYL.